to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we do another deep dive into Tubi. So for those of you not familiar with this channel, once a week I go searching through the popular streaming platforms and come up with 10 horror movies to recommend to you guys. This week I went searching through Tubi and came up with 10 more horror movies that I think you will enjoy. And with that, let's get to the list!
It's gonna be my masterpiece.
So Bliss is a 2019 reality-bending horror movie written and directed by Joe Begos. So Dora Madison plays a professionally stagnant, hard-partying LA artist. As her need for narcotics flat out of control, so does her new unquenchable thirst for blood.
I started painting again. I don't know, something came over me and then it all just started pouring out of me. I don't even remember doing it.
Like you blacked out?
It's like I was possessed.
Just becoming completely consumed by her bloodlust. This movie gets absolutely wild. It's colorful and disorienting with creative camera angles and lighting. And Dora Madison is fantastic in this, really taking you on a ride of emotions, just really making you feel her rise and fall into darkness. This is really one of the more original takes on vampirism I've ever seen, showing it to be a full-blown addiction, taking the viewer into a hell spiral of being fully spun out. But wow, does this movie get gory and bloody as hell, just straight up savage. This movie is so much fun and I highly recommend it.
Any questions?
So Feast is a 2005 action horror comedy. It's directed by John Gulager and stars Balthazar Getty, Henry Rollins, Navi Ruat, Judah Freelander, and Jason Mewes. So it's about a group of people that are trapped in a dirty little bar in Nevada after being attacked by a horde of monstrous creatures.
Unless you people want to die, you'll do what I say and you'll do it fast. They're coming. Right now.
So this movie doesn't take itself serious at all. Instead, it really leans into that old monster movie drive-in vibe, with lots of shocking moments and surprises that you will not see coming. It gets very gory with lots of really well done practical effects as well. And it's very funny without losing sight of horror. It's still bloody gruesome. It also has some really great action with lots of violent monster fights. But I'm just blown away that I'd never seen this until now. It's so good. This just has it all. So if you're looking for a popcorn horror movie, it doesn't get any better than this. So relax and enjoy.
3, 2, 1.
At the end of the day, people are out for themselves.
So The Belko Experiment is a 2016 survival horror movie, directed by Greg McLean and written by James Gunn. It stars John Gallagher Jr., Tony Goldwyn, and Andrea Arjona. On an ordinary day at the office, things turn into a desperate fight for survival when 80 employees of the Belko Corporation learn they are pawns in a deadly game.
Hey, listen up, everybody. Whoever's doing this, they're having a little fun at our expense.
Trapped inside their building, a voice over the intercom tells them that they must kill each other in order to survive. Friends become enemies in an all-out bloody battle.
In 2 minutes, we want 30 of you dead. If 30 of you are not dead, we will end 60 of your lives ourselves.
This really is The Office meets Battle Royale. It's really packed full of bloody violence, but it does do a good job of giving you characters that you feel invested in. It really keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout, with one shocking moment after another. This is an entertaining, action-packed movie that I think is absolutely worth your time.
I have been watching over you.
So Jezebel is a 2014 supernatural horror thriller, directed by Kevin Grudert and written by Ben Garott. It stars Sarah Snook and Mark Webber. It's about a young woman who returns to her childhood home to recuperate from a violent car accident, where she encounters a long-tormented spirit that just refuses to let her escape.
Hello, Jezebel. If you're watching this, it means I'm gone. I wanted to give you a reading with my cards. It says here that you're not alone. There's a presence in the house with you.
This is a haunting, mysterious ghost story that really takes its time to unfold, but it moves at a good pace so it never feels dull. And Sarah Snook gives a very moving, emotional performance, just really helping to pull you in. So this is a small movie, so it's not a game changer, but it is a very fun, spooky little ghost story, and I definitely think it's worth adding to your list. So Evil Dead 2013 is a grisly supernatural horror movie directed by Fede Alvarez in his directorial debut. This is also the 4th installment in the Evil Dead franchise and serves as a soft reboot. It stars Jane Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, and Lou Pusci. So it follows a group of 5 people who are being possessed and killed by supernatural entities at a remote cabin in the woods.
We're all going to die tonight.
So it's very reminiscent of the original, but this is a complete tonal shift. Whereas the original is campy, especially in the second one, this one is very dark and disturbing.
Oh my god! What the fuck did you do that?
It just takes a much more serious direction. To me, this is one of the best reboots ever made. It's crazy gory, just so much blood, yet it's still a lot of fun in its own way. This is a real gem that I think is an absolute must watch.
I don't know the saddest thing about everybody being gone. The lost stories. People are gonna die anyways, but their stories don't have to.
So Starfish is a 2016 sci-fi drama thriller written and directed by Bill Clark and stars Joanne Froggatt and Tom Riley. So humanity is about to come to an end due to a mysterious signal, and trapped at a home of a recently deceased friend, Aubrey tries to turn things around after finding a mysterious cassette tape.
Aubrey, pick up.
Oh my god.
You have to be careful.
Oh my god, can you hear me?
You played the signal. It opens doorways.
This is a moving, dark, emotional movie. It goes deep into the depths of loss and depression, but it's done in a very emotional, powerful, artistic way. For a small indie movie, this really has a lot of depth to it. But this is definitely not the kind of movie for everyone. It's for people who enjoy art house slow burns. So if that sounds like the type of movies that you enjoy, then by all means, check this out.
You're not like other girls.
So Monstrous is a 2020 indie drama thriller, directed by Bruce Wimple and starring Anna Shields and Rachel Finnegar. It's about a young woman who goes searching for answers when a friend of hers mysteriously vanishes near Whitehall, New York.
I had this friend. She's one of the women who disappeared. I had this insane idea that if I came here, I could find out what happened to her. She had answered an ad online asking for a driver to take her here.
And she quickly learns that hiding in the woods is an evil far more sinister than she ever imagined. So this really is a great little double feature with Starfish. It's another slow burn artsy drama. Yeah, it does have some really uncomfortable moments as well as some very tense scenes, but it's much more about the people and the conversations they have in this. This is a very small movie, so don't get caught up in the special effects and the quality because there's not a ton of them and they're not the greatest, but this movie has much more to offer than that. It's worth being patient for if you're someone who enjoys dramatic thrillers. It has some really good twists and reveals towards the end. So with the right expectations, just not expecting too much, this is a solid pick. So Stay Alive is a 2006 supernatural horror movie. It's directed by William Brent Bell and starring Frankie Muniz and Jimmy Simpson. So it's about a group of teenagers who decide to play an unreleased horror video game. But the action on the screen becomes terrifyingly real when they realize that each time one of the game characters dies, the human counterpart dies as well.
Don't you get it? If you die in the game, you die for real.
This is a really fun early 2000s horror movie, and it's surprising how well it still holds up. Yes, the gaming graphics and the CGI are definitely dated, but it's one of those movies where that adds nostalgia, just giving it charm instead of taking away from it. There's well done tension throughout this movie with some really solid scares as well. I also really found myself enjoying the characters in this. They aren't just there for the kill count numbers, they seem real and likable. So this really is one of the best horror movies from that era. And if you have yet to check this movie out, you definitely should.
There's a dead man upstairs.
Bill! Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Look at me.
So Salem's Lot is a 1979 supernatural horror TV miniseries based on the Stephen King novel with the same name. It's directed by Tobe Hooper and stars David Soul and James Mason. It's about an author who returns to his hometown of Salem's Lot and discovers that the citizens of his small town are becoming blood-sucking vampires.
Look at him!
This movie combines both vampire and haunted house genres of horror so well, giving it just a very unique feel. So this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't even tell you how many nights I fell asleep watching this movie. It's also from one of my favorite eras of horror, the late 70s and early 80s. But I'm not sure this is the kind of movie that can really be appreciated by the younger generation, because it does have its cheese and it does feel dated. But if you're a fan of late 70s, early 80s of horror, this is really a must-see. So Peeping Tom is a 1960 British psychological horror thriller. It's directed by Michael Powell and written by Leo Marks, and it stars Carl Baum and Anna Massey. It revolves around a serial killer who murders women while using a portable camera to catch their last moments of life.
There is no future for anyone who tries to befriend him. He invades the privacy of innocent people till the piercing eyes of his camera meet the terrified eyes of his victims.
So this movie is considered by most to be the original slasher. And this movie is just so much creepier than I think most people would guess. Carl Baum just has this really eerie, disconnected way about him that truly makes him feel like a psychopathic killer. This is also a visually stunning movie. The lighting and color and wardrobe are fantastic, as well as the pacing and just the way that it's shot. It just gives it so much style. So even just for the place that it holds in horror history, it's worth a watch. But it's also just a fantastic classic horror movie, and one that if you have yet to check out, I highly, highly recommend it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything on Tubi that I missed, something else that I should be checking out, because your recommendations really help me out. Also, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week, I also want to give a huge, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, yeah, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.